In association with Official Wrestling comes A Few Good Marks podcast. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to A Few Good Marks. I am your host, Kieran. I am here with Croft.
Hello.
Alex.
Hi.
And Willo.
Hello.
Wow, is that the first proper one we're all together for 2019? That's how you do. That's how you do it. Fine. So today,
Well, I'm angry. We're doing grapes and grappling.
Oh, grappling, gripes and grappling. Way to put it.
You look
Grappling
so
with
much funnier
gripes.
when you haven't got hair.
Willo has, as you may have seen from the Instagram photos, Willo has shaved his hair off. Well, he didn't do it personally.
I was going to say, I didn't ask for this.
Paid someone to do it for him.
And I came out looking like
How
this.
did she do it?
Because she's a fucking nonce, that's
Do you
why.
do you know what you
Grappling
remind
with
me of?
hairdressers.
Are you going to get
Proper
offended if I say something bad? You don't like it anyway, do you?
No,
Do you know what
no.
you look like? A Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle.
I don't see it myself. Wait, look at me.
Oh my god! Where does that come from? That's hilarious.
Hang on, which one?
The ball?
Yeah, they're bald.
What are you on about?
I mean,
The turtles?
I'm glad you didn't say like Master Splinter or Krang.
Shredder.
Yeah, well, Shredder would be fucking sick.
Well, yeah,
If I were like
that'd be
Shredder.
Do you know the real life ones?
Hang on, I'm going to have to...
Hang on, what? You look like a
artist
real
they're based
life
Yeah.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. Right, so this is Grappling with Gripes, folks. We've done one of
You
these
got any
episodes.
nunchucks, kid?
I picture more like a Donatello kind of vibe, you know?
I was
With a
thinking
sword.
more
Yeah, with a
Raphael.
Sword.
Oh dear.
Which
Which
one's
one
got
was
the
that?
staff?
That's Leonardo, isn't
Leonardo.
it?
Bag it, I hate him. I'm not being funny.
Oh, no,
No, Leonardo's the cool one. He's
He's
the
got
blue
the
one.
sword.
Yeah.
He's got the
Oh,
sword.
no, he's
Michelangelo's the one who eats loads of pizza.
He's got
got the
nunchucks.
staff.
No, he's got nunchucks.
Who's got the
Donatello.
Donatello's a
Donatello's
bag.
got the staff.
Raphael's got the little like
Raphael, yeah, he's got the
The-
Electros type
That's
sword.
it.
daggery thing.
He's all brought a
Raphael's-
stick.
He's a bit broody, Raphael. We just like fuck Grappling like Gripes. We're talking about
Grappling with Teenage Mutant
Donatello.
Fucking moving this back.
Donatello's got the staff.
No, right.
Moving this back to wrestling.
As if it's a-
We're definitely starting this again now.
Oh, keep going. This is great crack.
Fine. Speaking of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, it must be your favourite film, Croft, because Seamus was in one.
Was he?
And Kevin Nash.
What?
As he was in.
Seamus, he was in
yeah.
one of the remakes.
He
No.
was, yeah. That's why he won the championship last year, the year before.
Because he was in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
No, right, splicey side by side. She's spot on.
Fuck you. That's hideous.
You just said she's spot on. I was only showing you the picture to laugh at the picture, and you went, she's spot on.
Oh, nice.
No, I jest, of course. I'm gonna splice you.
Spark him, lad.
You two getting your fucking heads kicked in.
No, I'm gonna put a picture of
You're
it
on the
side by
wrong side of
side.
history, you
Side
two.
by side on this podcast, and you can decide for yourselves at home.
You'll have to tell us because Key's being sparked out this week.
I'm gonna be knocked out
We
in a
need
bit.
him to be sat the way that he was sat earlier when he was like that. Like when you was angry.
When you were ready
you
for
had
Grappling with
both of them.
Gripes.
Ah.
Yeah, that's how.
Alright, that's going up on the screen. You tell us. Anyway, moving swiftly back onto topic. This is Grappling with Gripes episode number 2. We did this in the past. Alex was the only one who's currently present who was there for that one too, along with myself. Candy and Pete were there for us as well. So, well, it's basically this is a Wrestling Room 101 style episode. Where
We should have named this Just Chuck It in the Bin.
in the bin with Heidenreich.
Yeah.
The way this is going to work is that Croft, Willo, and Alex will come up with one thing that pisses them off about WWE for the first round, and then for professional wrestling in general for the second round, and I will decide which one is future endeavoured, or I think it's relegated to the pre-show. I think
Yes,
it
that was Pete's show,
was the idea that was what happened to it. So is there any? So first round. what is your gripe with WWE? Would anyone like to go first?
Oh, you know what I fucking hate?
Here we go. Go on.
Buzzwords. Fucking WWE Universe and sports entertainment and all that other shit that they...
The network.
But it's like...
No.
Go ahead, explain.
It's just like, it takes me out of it so much. Because they're like, oh, they've got into the WWE Universe. It's like they've had to stop and think to say...
We've got to get a buzzword in.
Yeah, like rather than just going, they're fighting in the crowd. They're fighting amongst the universe. Like there's stars and fucking planets are going to come out of them. You know what I mean? It just fucking... it just pisses me off. And then sports entertainment, that just fucking pisses me off as well.
Yeah, well, we were on about this before.
It's
actually,
like made wrestling a
but...
dirty word, Vince. A dirty word. And it's like, actually, no, everyone just goes... Like, if you talk to the street going, like, watching WWE, you're like, oh, wrestling, yeah? You don't go, fucking love sports entertainment, me, lad, you know, fucking... I'm a member of the WWE universe of sports entertainment.
You're a bagger.
Yeah. It's just like, no, it's just wrestling, mate. It's just wrestling.
It's just wrestling. Yeah, no, I totally agree with that.
I agree with you there.
I would totally agree with that.
I think it's
like,
gotten
especially
worse as well.
It has got worse lately, yeah.
And you know what? I think it's even more annoying, like something to kind of touch back on one of the previous gripes that we had, which was people ripping it off. And like we said, like people rip off merch and stuff like that. Some people, like I've genuinely seen companies call their fans something like the something Galaxy.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh come on, just like you know, like the faithful or something like that, or you know the loyal fan base. Yeah. Fair enough, because that's still
generic
like their fans. But
and that's like a football. That's like a football thing as well. Like, like all City faithful. Like we wouldn't say that, but you know what I mean. Like you'd say something like that.
Doesn't have to be such a... It feels to me like they've gone, what makes us more unique? No one else is calling the fans the universe.
It is very branding, isn't it?
It is branding, yeah. It's like they always go like, oh, he was taken to a local medical facility.
Yeah.
It's like, no, he's taken to hospital, mate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I feel like that's an American thing anyway.
It happened with Braun Strowman last year when he said on Raw, my title shot, and when he got backstage, Vince McMahon chewed him out because he was meant to say championship opportunity.
Yeah, you know, it's called a title, strap, or belt. It's championships. Which is, I guess that's another thing.
But it's bullshit, isn't it? Because in the crowd, you know what he means.
Yeah.
You don't go, I don't know what he means by title shot. I think it's championship opportunity. And it takes you out of it when it sounds forced when they have to say, my championship opportunity. Because it's Braun Strowman, he's a big fella. Most of the sentences he uses probably don't have more than 3 syllables in it.
Yeah.
Because he's never had to.
Yeah.
Because he's a big fella, he doesn't talk like that.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I would absolutely agree with that, Willow. Very well put forward. Let's go Alex next. Your gripe with WWE.
My gripe with WWE in general is when they bring, and this is probably no secret from all of the previous podcasts, but it actually doesn't just go for these 2 people that you're going to think, but I hate when they bring in big stars, especially just for the main example from MMA, Ronda Rousey and Brock Lesnar, and push them to the moon because of their status. Like, personally for me, I don't think that they've deserved it, and a lot of the time, they're not as good a wrestler as, you know, the people who have been working. And as a wrestler as well, I think I'd be absolutely livid if I'd been working my ass off for 10 years, some even longer than that, and then some cunt came in from MMA who
Just dropping
like
the like that, Alright then, not even a build up. At least we had a build up to calling Sam Roberts a cunt on the last podcast. But carry on.
Sorry, yeah. Excuse my language. But just someone coming in and going, oh, do you know what? I actually had a few fights in MMA and I'm burying you now. Like, no, like I don't think it works like that. Like, in actual fact, I'm actually going to be the better wrestler because I've trained in wrestling, you train in MMA, so you're going to be beating me up. But this isn't the sport that we're doing. We're not doing MMA, we're doing wrestling. Like, there's a complete difference between... I always say to people, if you want to do MMA, that's fine. Go and do MMA. I don't think there's anything wrong with having an MMA style in the ring. But, like, they don't just do it with MMA stars. There's been a history of WWE doing it with, you know, like another one who would be a good example of it would actually be Eva Marie. Because she was like a model beforehand. She was already quite in the public eye before she actually made a debut on TV because she was on Total Divas. And they pushed her to the moon and she wasn't ready. Like, and it was because she had that star power of a reality star before she was actually a wrestler. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I just don't think that's okay. And there's probably more people that I can't think of at the moment. but like they just seem to bring people in and push them to the absolute moon when there's people that like there's a reason that we train to become wrestlers. There's a reason that because they want to be a wrestler. If you want to be an MMA star, that's why they train to be an MMA star. They should get their start the way that we all did by going on the indies and training with a wrestling school. Sometimes they don't have to go on the indies to be seen by WWE.
I would agree with most of that. The only one I would disagree with is Brock Lesnar because he started off as a pro wrestler.
No, he did start off as a wrestler,
and
but I
Brock
feel
Lesnar
like he's only been pushed as he is at the moment because we know that WWE don't like letting go of their big UFC stars. We know that they've got an issue with it. Shayna Baszler's another one, but she has proper proved herself. Like
we've said this on the other podcasts.
But she has to go to NXT. This is what I'm saying. Like Ronda Rousey came up and she was like, and everyone's like, oh yeah, but it's Ronda Rousey. She's like the baddest woman on the planet. No, Matt Riddle's in NXT. Why?
Not as big as Ronda Rousey.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter though. That's what I'm saying.
Yes, it does. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but this is my gripe.
I get what it is, but I totally get what you mean about pushing people before they're ready, and I know I completely agree where you're coming from. But the only reason that I argue this till the day's done is that they're in the business of selling tickets and making money, and by putting a name on the card, regardless of how experienced they are, people are going to buy to see that card.
But from a wrestler's perspective, it would piss you off.
Absolutely, and I firmly agree that. And it really annoyed me that Ronda came out and said, "Oh, I want to earn my spot," blah blah blah. And that's absolutely, but that's not her fault. That's the booking's fault. And so I think if they had built her up, put her in a couple of feuds, and done this, that, or the other, and then built, and then have the win of the Royal Rumble around this time, then belting perfectly organic. But this time it's fine. But the Brock Lesnar thing, I get what you mean. But the Brock Lesnar thing, he was already in WWE. He was already a wrestler. He was already pinned to be the next big thing. Had been WWE champion before he left. Had beaten a number of big opponents.
Yeah.
And
I know what you're saying.
And so then he came back, and now he's brought that style back.
I agree with what Alex is saying though, because he's only been pushed so much because he went to UFC.
But again, because he's a name. Because
what I'm saying is, because he went to UFC and he built his star power even more.
Because he built his name up.
He got pushed more for it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's the business WWE is in.
Hear the counter side of this, right, Kieran? I know you're saying it's a draw. So one of my friends in work, who I sit next to, he is a huge MMA fan, absolutely huge MMA fan. Doesn't watch wrestling, doesn't know much about wrestling. I know this doesn't go for every single fan in the world, because there will be some people that have heard about it and go, oh shit, I'm going to watch wrestling now. But he doesn't know anything about wrestling, he doesn't really like it, doesn't really get it, he thinks it's a bit weird that I do it. He's like, isn't it just play a fight in there? He's one of them, you know. And then I was, on last Tuesday actually, I was looking at Raw results from the week before. So this Tuesday I was watching it from Raw. And it was something, and there was a picture, because I was just reading through a Bleacher Report. And you know, they have like screenshots, and it was Ronda Rousey. And he went, is that Ronda Rousey? And I said, yeah. And he went, isn't she an MMA fighter? And I was like, well, no, not anymore, she's a wrestler. And he went, why is she in WWE? Like, he didn't even know, and he's a massive UFC mark.
Yeah, true.
So, if it was that big of a draw...
Yeah.
I mean, the money that they're probably paying her is probably the amount of money that they're getting back, so they're actually probably only just breaking even, to be honest.
No, I absolutely 100% see where you're coming from. I see it from a business point of view, whereas... You'll do what you can to make money, regardless of where people are. But as a wrestler, and I can 100% see your standpoint.
It's not just annoying as a wrestler, though. It's annoying as a fan.
No, absolutely. And we've seen the reaction. We saw the reaction after Royal Rumble, where all the other fans were like, "Oh, she's just coming in. She's stolen the spotlight straight away," which we all felt at the time.
But for me, all my wrestlers that I've liked, I haven't just liked as soon as they've debuted. I've always liked, because traditionally when you like a babyface, you like them because they've had the chase behind them. Yeah. Jeff Hardy, when I was younger, was always the main one.
Agreed.
He was always told, you're not good enough, and then like he'd win the championship, like when he was feuding with like Edge and everything like that. And it was like he was a big babyface because he had that little bit of vulnerability. For them to then book Ronda specifically, I can't get behind her because that isn't organic. They are telling you, it's the same what they did with Roman Reigns. Yeah. They are telling you, here is your baby face, you will cheer her, and that's not going to happen. So they're probably not making that much money because people are getting pissed off. The proper hardcore fans are getting pissed off. It's not just annoying as a worker, it's annoying as a fan because I don't want to decide who I'm cheering for. If she's then coming in and beating up my favourite, she's still undefeated, am I wrong? She's not been pinned yet.
She hasn't been pinned, but she's technically lost a match via Natalia taking the pinfall in a tag team match.
No, but she's never been.
She's never been pinned or
She's never been pinned. Like,
not her personally.
I find that far too hard to believe that she's that good at wrestling that she's never been pinned. And like everyone's like, oh yeah, but she does this submission. Like, I'm fucking bored of it already. She's doing it in every match. She's squashing every opponent.
In other terms
boring.
of absolutely, I agree with you on the Ronda thing. It's like I want to see her do more stuff. I want to see her progress as a wrestler. Especially after a year in the business. I don't know how long she's been training since before she came in, but I do want to see her starting to take on a bit more responsibility and do more stuff. In regards to moving away from the Ronda situation, because like that's an absolute given and like fair play. But is there any other? Are we just talking about like people who don't deserve to be pushed? People who are being pushed purely for their popularity.
Yeah, but Ronda's just the biggest one that I can think of.
So general celebrities being brought in.
Yeah.
Okay.
In general, it just pisses me off a little bit. I think it's cool for like one show. Like, does anybody remember when Floyd Mayweather came in?
Yeah,
Big show. Like, that was cool because it was one show. Like there was a build up for like 2 shows, and then there was like a pay-per-view. I think it was.
It started at No Way Out. So there was literally one pay-per-view to the next build.
Yeah. So that was really funny because he never came back after that either.
No.
It was like he got that big push against the Big Show because that was more of a comedy kind of thing.
Almost, yeah.
If that
Like
makes sense.
Big man versus little guy, sort of.
And like it wasn't unrealistic because it wasn't even like a wrestling match.
No, it was done.
He wasn't coming in as a wrestler.
It was no DQ.
He wasn't coming in as a wrestler. He was coming in as a boxer.
Just to fight him.
Yeah, like
and no
if
DQ
I would buy it more if Ronda Rousey was coming in as an MMA fighter, not coming in going, I've always dreamed of being
wrestling.
in WWE. Like, it's just not, it's too hard for me to believe.
It's kind of like what Brock has done not in as many words, but he's come in and he's brought, not even an MMA style, but he's just brought this different throw you around powerhouse style to the
But even that I think is different because Brock hits like German suplexes, which is one of the most like over wrestling moves at the moment, which is, so he's still wrestling. You know what I mean?
And
yeah, fair
as
enough.
a wrestler.
Yeah,
So
and
he
knows it. He knows.
And he's a
Like,
champion at amateur wrestling as well, isn't he? So
I think you've been looking at it from 2 perspectives here. You've been looking at it from being pushed because of your wrestling talent and being pushed because you'll sell tickets.
Because you draw talent. Yeah, you draw.
Beyond that, WWE are very, very big on their marketing and their stance in the media. And signing a huge name like Ronda Rousey just gets eyes on the product. Even if these people aren't buying tickets, it's just to get eyes on WWE.
I think it showed that to that point. It showed like in the build up, in the promo package for Ronda's match at Mania last year. Like when they showed her debut thing, and then they showed how many people had it as the headline for the next, like flashed up, and it's like, and that's what they crave.
That's what they're going for.
That's what
it's
they absolutely
not so much
crave.
ticket sales. It's just being in the headline.
Mainstream media attention. No, Alex, I would.
But it's annoying as someone
absolutely
who's been
take
a
that on
fan
board.
since been little. That's why it's annoying to me because it's annoying as a fan since been little. It's probably not annoying for them from a media and marketing point of view, but it's annoying for me because I've been a fan and I want to get behind the people who I get behind because they've been pushed.
Considering the name of this podcast, I think you've got and from the angle you've come at it from, that's a very, very good argument. Absolutely, very good argument. Croft, last one on WWE.
My one for WWE is, let's cast your mind to any episode of Raw with Roman Reigns on it.
Right.
When he comes out, what's the crowd reaction like?
Boos.
Some boos.
Some cheers.
Here's some cheers. But you know full well, in the arena, it's mostly boos. My gripe with WWE is censoring and altering crowd reactions.
Yes.
Because for me as a fan, if I'm watching a show, I would rather be in the arena if I could. I would rather be suit guy in a tie with the long hair, going to every show if I could. I would love to do it. Because I want to replicate the atmosphere in the arena at home as a fan. When WWE are altering crowd reactions, I'm not getting that experience. I'm getting the experience WWE want me to have. When I watch a film, I don't get to hear what cinema audiences thought of it. I can read reviews if I want to, but that's my choice. When I watch the film, unless I put director's commentary on it, I don't know what the director wanted me to think. I can make my own judgments. When WWE alter crowd reactions, they're telling me what to think, and I don't want that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Just to add on to that as well, Lana Austin recently debuted at NXT UK.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if it's just because I was watching it when I was in the gym and I was watching it through my earphones and it was obviously loud in the gym, but somebody who I have on Facebook actually recorded it live, and the pop for her in the arena was huge, and then on NXT UK it was like silent, and I was like, oh, she didn't get a very good pop, and then I think, oh no, I remember that she got a really good pop. So it was kind of weird that they muted everything out until about 2 minutes into the match, and everyone was going, let's go Lana, and you could tell that they'd like edited it a little bit because it started getting louder and louder, but like not through more fans chanting. It just sounded like the same amount of fans were chanting, and then it was just getting turned up.
Talent, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it's not authentic, is my biggest gripe with it. When you've got more and more indie stars that are going to WWE, they've made the name elsewhere. People like Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, people who've made the name in other promotions, and they get to WWE, they've got a following from fans of WWE that also like other stuff. And those fans have every right to make themselves heard, and they should be heard on programming. They shouldn't be edited out because WWE have decided you don't get that reaction yet. When these people have worked 10, 15, 20 odd years to try and get that reaction, they deserve it when they get to WWE, and they should be heard. Not just because WWE don't want them to have that yet. And it annoys me because I want that authentic experience. I want to hear what the crowd think. I don't want to hear the censored, dumbed down version because WWE think they know better than me.
I think the best idea of that is as well is that when someone new comes in, and say we all know them. So like just example, imagine if Kenny Omega debuted in the Rumble. Like just imagine it. It's probably not going to. We were.
At the time of recording,
Yeah.
Imagine.
Yeah, imagine.
It may well have happened by the time this goes out, but we don't know.
Imagine how much the crowd will pop.
Yeah.
And like I feel like us as fans of Kenny Omega anyway, we'd kind of get like the goosebumps, not just at Kenny entering, but at the crowd reaction.
The reaction.
The Hardy Boys returning was a prime example. I got goosebumps at the Hardys returning. Then when you heard how loud the crowd was, and the New Day was literally like, oh my god, this crowd is so loud. Like you knew, and obviously it was live.
The same.
So
I would say the exact same for Finn Balor showing up at Takeover.
Yeah.
Blackpool the other week.
Yeah.
Like that was like unreal, and Croft.
You feel it
Croft
more.
can attest to how much I marked out.
Absolutely.
When Finn
And you
came out.
feel it more because you hear the crowd.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because you're
The best-
connected.
The best example that I've got, exactly, you're connected because you feel like you're there as an addition to the crowd in attendance. And when your experience is different to theirs,
Yeah.
you're disconnected from it, you're not there anymore. And the best example of that I thought, I was telling Willo earlier, I was watching WrestleMania 30 recently.
Yeah.
When Brock Lesnar pinned Undertaker, the crowd was silent.
Yeah.
And that was not edited, that was
No,
genuine
genuine
silence.
Shock.
And that still gives me, I was watching
Yeah.
it today.
I
and
watched
it's-
that live, yeah.
And it's still
Did we
gives-
watch that together?
No.
Did we not watch 30 together?
No.
I swear we did.
He was on such a roll there.
Sorry, Croft. Go on.
You will be, lad.
I'm trying to remember where I watched 30. Carry on. Sorry, I was.
So I was watching it today,
Yeah, go on.
and it still gives me goosebumps when I hear that silence. But if I'd found out afterwards that that wasn't genuine silence and they'd cut the crowd audio, well, I wouldn't get goosebumps from that moment anymore because it feels fake and it feels piped in.
Pulling out my degree here as well because it's not useful for much.
Same.
We tend to conform to other people's behaviours, and I feel like when I watch The Undertaker and Lesnar back, because everyone's silent, even when I watch it back now and I've seen it like 10 times, I go sat myself, even when I want to say, oh my god, I want to wait for the first person in the crowd because I want to conform to what they're doing because there's 70,000 of them, there's one of me. So I don't want to be the only one. Can you imagine if I was in that crowd and all you heard was, God. Because that'd be me.
Whole
But,
version of Janice over here.
Yeah. But like, I feel like you conform to what the crowd are doing and it makes you pop that a little bit more. So I completely agree.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, So there's three very good options on the table there. I think the three much more in depth than the last three were. I think that the buzzwords one is something they've only really started doing recently, and is incredibly annoying, especially after Croft's example, like we were saying, like when people are in the ring and it doesn't suit their vocabulary and they're forced to say it because that's what Vince wants. Like, absolutely, that is incredibly annoying. In terms of stars being pushed, absolutely understand why it's incredibly annoying nowadays after we've gone through this, especially like with Ronda coming in and just claiming, oh yeah, I'm going to be this big star now, here's my, or WWE pushing her in that way, especially after all the work that a lot of the women have done on that roster to make actual, like, to get up to a wrestling standpoint, whereas Ronda's come in and thought, oh, I can just get away with being all right, and it's like, well, no, that's not the point nowadays. Nowadays, the women's roster are really trying to up the game and trying to hold themselves to the same standard that the male roster do, which is like, yeah, absolutely spot on. I'm all for that. And then there's crowd censoring, which WWE have a history of, because they did it with Hulk Hogan a lot, which I've only recently discovered through OSW. That they did that so much for Hogan, and at the same and to realise that they've been doing that for quite a while and they still haven't learned and we're still doing that. But you made like really good points on it, and it does infuriate me still to the same point that is what's happening. And it's the same point of last year when we were reviewing WrestleMania, the main event, where they said, like they heard, we thought this is awesome chants. So they raised the volume up a little bit, and it was "this is awful" chants, and they lowered it back down again. You can visibly hear it. So visibly hear it? That's not the right word.
Audibly is what you're
audibly hear it. So three very, very difficult choices, but I see, because I'm kind of torn between. I'm torn between Croft's and Alex's. Sorry, Willow. I am torn between the ridiculous celebrity push because they're popular, and because and the crowd censoring. The only reason that I wouldn't choose Willow's, even though it does annoy me to fuck, is only because it's not as prominent, it's not as in the forefront, because it's only done every so often, and it's only
It's done like 5 or 6 times a night. It's done more than these two.
But it's not as big of an impact if you're watching. You know what I mean?
I feel like it'd win next year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I feel like these
it's
two
only
arguments. These two arguments were strong.
It's been going on for a year.
They were
now.
strong. Yeah, but there's the thing. But I think because the thing with Hogan,
I'd say sports entertainment as a phrase is older than celebrities being in WWE and winning.
If I was because
they had it in they started that shit in the 80s.
Alex's thing really did annoy me, and I can firmly see why, especially with Ronda and all the work that's gone in to up in the women's division at the moment, and I can firmly see the reasons why.
Just really quickly as well, I'm really not that bothered if you don't pick mine, but just because I forgot to say it, the only thing I would say about mine is that as a kid, wrestling's for kids, and it is wrestling, especially WWE.
It is nowadays.
It's for
absolutely.
kids. Do you really think them kids care about Ronda Rousey? They ain't got a fucking clue who she is.
Yeah, very true.
But by that token, you were saying before about like it's so jarring to the hardcore fans. You know, when she comes in.
That's what I mean as well. So it's
but to the kids, like she's a hero, and she never loses.
Yeah, and they're being told she's a big deal.
But I don't know if it's just
and
when
it's also
I was a kid.
and they can go in. So she's done all this. Yeah. She won in like a really quick time in your.
I don't know if it's just because when I was a kid, I liked the baby faces that had the beat down before. I don't know if that's just because that's me. When I was little, I liked the faces that was like the underdogs.
I think that's a widespread
I feel like
belief.
if I was 6 now, I would be a Roman Reigns fan. You know,
like
I'm a massive Liverpool fan. I always root for the underdogs.
Yeah,
because that's the way we're portrayed.
I think that's true. I think baby faces have changed over time, because when I was a kid, my favourite was Rey Mysterio.
Yeah,
Because
he's
he was a
another
little
great
dude.
example.
He was an underdog, and I feel like underdog
Everyone, I
faces
mean,
are
it's why I think
thing.
everyone roots for the underdog, don't they? And be it the FA Cup or be it the Royal Rumble, you always root for the underdogs, don't you? So,
You
but
root for the Hurricanes, don't you?
you absolutely root for the Hurricane. So I think, given it, I'm gonna have to give it to Croft.
Oh, thanks.
Well played, Croft.
Cheers.
Absolutely, I absolutely fucking detest it when they alter sound, the sound of the crowd or pump in false sound as well.
Like the old
So
SmackDown hairdryer.
That was absolutely hit the nail on the
Remember
fucking
when
head.
they muted the 3, 2, 1? We get that tonight.
Yeah, we do,
Yes,
and
we
it's
do.
actually okay. It's Royal Rumble. Do you guys see my
Yes,
Snapchat
mate.
story, by the way? Did you see it?
No.
So for last night for the BWP Rumble,
Oh, I saw this.
so they didn't all the production hadn't showed up. Like there was a problem with the person bringing it.
Mm-hmm.
So it was BWP Rumble, and normally they'd have the countdown on the screen and start the countdown, so
Who
the
won?
fans are getting to it. So the 10, 9, the numbers flashing up
Yeah.
on a projector and stuff. So they didn't have that. So I had to audibly get on the microphone
Every
every
minute.
1 minute 90 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, and fucking do it. I didn't do the
I would have.
I'd have definitely done it.
Some
Who
fans did it to begin with. Hey,
Who won?
Sonna Durson.
Yay! I love him.
Because everybody in the UK should book him. He's so fucking good.
He'll be signed for WWE soon.
Better fucking I'd be. Sonna's
They've got
amazing.
thingy in Turkey, haven't they, sir?
Do I?
Yeah.
Oh, there
Got
we go.
performance settings all over the place, game.
All over the place. Right, so Croft won the first round of that. Very well deserved. Moving on to your gripe with pro wrestling
See,
in
now-
general.
I know I'm not going to win this one, so do you want me to go first?
Yes, go ahead.
You know what mine is.
Go on.
It's to do with commentary.
Go on.
If you've got a fella, picture this.
Oh, I know this.
Oh,
Picture
no.
this.
I know.
Say you've got Ricochet on the top rope. Not Ricochet, 'cause he's boss. Say you've got, I don't know.
Alexis Falcon.
Nah, because she's boss.
Oh,
Oh, you are.
thanks.
Say you've got, I don't fucking know.
Azazel
Billy
Savage.
Kidman.
Oh, savagery. Who?
He never hit a shooting star press. Billy Kidman.
Yeah.
On top rope. And he goes for a shooting star press. And he lands a bit wrong. And you hear a commentator go, oh, he didn't get all of it. Don't tell me that. That's not
Yes.
specifically my gripe. My specific gripe is commentators treating me like I don't have two functioning fucking eyes, mate. I'm watching the product, I'm watching what's going on in the ring. I'm not fucking cracking one off to a fucking plump tomato. I'm watching what's on the screen.
I appreciate that big mouth reference.
You're welcome. I don't have to be told, oh, he's punched him. I know, mate. I've just watched him do it. So I don't need to be told when someone doesn't quite get a move right and go, ooh, didn't get all of it. Because that, to me, isn't saying, ooh, he didn't get all his move there. That's saying, oh, he fucked that up.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't need to be told when the talent gets stuff wrong. I can see that. You telling me I've got it wrong takes me out of the action and makes me go, yeah, he did fuck that up. He's shit. It's burying the talent indirectly when what you should be saying is, yeah, he did the move, shooting star press. Oh my god. Don't draw attention to the fact it was wrong. Draw attention to the fact he just pulled off a shooting star press. Even if he didn't get all of it. Big up the fact he's done it, because then I might not notice he's fucked it up. The second they say, didn't get all of it, I know straight away, even if I didn't clock it myself, that means he's cocked it up.
I feel like
That's my
commentary's
gripe.
job is to call the move, like
Yes.
deep arm drag there, or nice hip toss there, or like things like that, and a suicide there, like like kind of things like that. Because when I was little, that helped me remember the actual names of things. Even though now, as a wrestler, I'm really bad. When someone's like, "Oh, so I'm gonna hit you with this tonight," and I'm like, "Well, I don't know what that is. Just tell me how to bump. Like, just tell me how I'm bumping, and that's fine." But like, I don't know. Like, I feel like it, and it's also commentary's job to cover things up if things do go wrong.
Absolutely.
Not go, "Oh, she did that a bit wrong there."
Yeah.
Like maybe go, "Oh, and a little bit of miscommunication. Could this cost him the match?" Do you know what I mean? Like. Maybe build it like in that way rather than go, "Oh, he didn't quite hit that."
If he does it and his opponent capitalises on it, then say, oh, he fell a bit short and his opponent's capitalised on it. If he does it and then still goes for the pin, don't say he cocked it up.
Yeah.
Because he's trying to cover up the fact he's cocked it up. For me, commentary's job should be to enhance what's going on in the ring, enhance my viewing experience. I don't need you to tell me what's going on, because I can see what's going on. I need you to tell me what they're feeling. I need you to tell me what's in the talent's head, because I can't see that happening. The commentary's job should be to enhance that and tell me the bits I can't see. I can see he's cocked it up. You telling me he's cocked it up just makes me notice it more.
Yeah, spot on. I'll comment on the rest of these at the end, because that makes it a bit more, gives me a rundown. Let's go Willow.
I can't really think of anything.
Just in general. Okay,
Just in
Alex.
general.
Well, I actually feel like I am going to lose this because I feel like your argument was more well put than mine. One, and you're also a commentator, and as well, because I'm a feminist and all of you are men, so you're not going to truly understand the feeling. My gripe in modern wrestling is that it's 2000.
Because you're home then, and we like parents.
That was the most perfectly timed pint in history.
I've been waiting to pour this for ages.
Could not have picked a better,
I just
worse
heard
time.
that and I was like, I'm doing it now. Do that.
Go ahead.
Right. So
Oh,
my
fucking
fucking
rise
pet
up the
peeve.
shit, so.
And it's,
Patreon.
Moving, hey. Moving swiftly on. Go on.
right. So it's no secret that I am an independent wrestler on the UK scene at the moment.
Oh yeah.
I never mention it on this
New to
podcast.
me.
You know.
I'm just spat everywhere.
If that's gone in my pint, I'm going to be so annoyed.
Right, so
Oh, look at that.
my
shit.
pet peeve is that it's 2019 now and there are still promoters that do not think that there's time to put women on the card. And there's still promoters who do book a women's match but are only booking the women's match because, oh, we have to put the women on the card. No.
Or
Give us a fucking storyline.
Or
You said you were commenting at the end?
No, I know. There's just something to add to it. Or that somebody looked good. That she looked good on the poster. That's why we had to book her.
Yeah. Or, oh, she looks good. We'll book her, even though she's a bit green.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Pisses me
Right.
off that. It does, because I see posters for indie wrestling shows and I'm not exactly fully clued up on the women's wrestling scene in the UK. But I know some people that are good. And I know that when I see names on the card, I know who's better. And then when I see someone who's put on the poster, just because they're a bit of eye candy for the poster, it pisses me off.
Yeah.
Put your good talent on the poster.
Yeah.
You deserve the spot.
I mean, I'm not going to lie, I've put on 2 stone in the last 6 months, and when people do put me on the posters, I have noticed that they use my old promo pictures when I was 2 stone lighter, but we won't discuss that, because, I mean, my face hasn't changed, so I suppose that's okay. But, in fact, no, my makeup skills have actually got better, so if they just wanted to put my face on, like, that's fine. But anyway, swiftly moving on, of my weight gain.
Have you just robbed my catchphrase there?
Yeah, I have.
Rude.
Gimmick infringement.
Right.
No.
But it just winds me up, and there's people that go, oh, like, and this is true, this has happened very recently. My very good friend, I'm not name dropping, said, oh, blah, 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 I've been dropped from this show in these dates because said promoter said, well, we haven't got really the budget and I'd rather have 6 men's matches than 5 men's matches and 1 women's. I think that is absolutely fucking disgusting. I think we train the same, we work the same. Why? Because I've got a pair of tits and a vagina, which, by the way, that man was born out of, not mine specifically, but his mum's vagina, or a stomach. If she has C-section, it still came out the womb, right? So it just winds me up that it's, yes, I am a massive fucking feminist. We all know this, we all take the piss out of me for it, and that's fine. But it just fucking winds me up that still, fucking in 2000, women are the hottest thing in wrestling at the minute. No one gives a fuck about the men in WWE at the minute. There's loads of fucking indie shows where they think, fucking hell, like, women are our money at the minute. Let's put on an all-women's show. Let's have an all-women's card. Let's put the women in the main event. And it's a big fucking deal when the women are in the main event because everyone's like, oh my god, this is organic. This is something we've never seen before. And there's still fucking promoters just don't book women. And it's not even because I want to be booked, because said show that this is happening at, I'm not been booked on, and I probably never will be booked on because the said promoter asked me to be on the show and I declined politely. So I'll probably never get asked to be booked there again. So it just fucking winds me up that we work so hard and they fucking just don't even, they think that we're still the lower tier. Like, how fucking narrow-minded must you actually be to think you're just the pair of tits, you're just the eye candy? Because we're fucking not. And I'm not being funny as well, I wear tights now, so my bum's not out anymore. I mean, my boobs still are a bit, but that's only like a man coming out with a six-pack, oiled up.
Do you know what, the way I see it, what you just said then as well, what happened to you, mate, being told, I'd rather have 6 men's matches than 5 men's and 1 women's.
Mm-hmm.
If that happened in any other field of employment in the UK, it would be against the Equality Act.
Yeah.
It would be against the law.
Exactly. And do you know what else I hate? And I know that I am very guilty of doing this myself. I also hate that it is the women's match. And I can't stand when announcers, so like today, like the show that I was at today, they just announced the next match is scheduled for one fall, introducing first. I can't fucking bear it when you're ready to come through the curtain and the announcer go, the next match is a women's match scheduled for what? Why? No, it's not a women's match. It's another fucking match.
There's no distinction.
Scheduled for one fall. It don't matter. How do you know I ain't got a cock? Do you know what I mean? How do you know I ain't got a cock and I've just put eyelashes on and fucking them boob quit that drag queens wear? How do they know that?
Exactly.
There's no thingy to say that I haven't got a cock. Like, there literally isn't. So why are people announcing? Sorry if you do this, by the way, because I don't know if you do. But why are people saying the next match is a women's match? Shut the fuck up. I feel like coming out and just going, actually no, the next match is a match.
Yeah, I think the problem goes deeper than just the announcers as well. I think a lot of top brass in certain promotions will probably say, announce this as a women's match, and they shouldn't.
Yeah.
Whoever's fault
They
it
do.
is, I don't think it should be happening. I'm not saying it lies with the announcer, I'm not saying it lies with the company. It's probably different for every promotion.
And I call it the
But
women's match as well.
Exactly, but you shouldn't announce it to the crowd because all that's saying is, hello everyone in attendance, this is different.
Mm-hmm.
You can go for a piss now.
Yeah,
exactly.
it is. Yeah, this is the match to get your phones out. Is how I hear it, because traditionally, and people still say it to me, like, and I still do hear the odd comment backstage. Ryan's especially bad for it. I go, "How was my match?" And he'll say, like, for a joke to wind me up because he knows that I'm such a fucking feminist. He'll go, "Oh, it was really good. I've never seen so many men on the phones." Do you know what I mean? Like, and he'll say that for a joke, but like sometimes I do think that part of that joke does come from a place where maybe 5-6 years ago the women's match was the phone break and it was the piss break, because it was. But I think we've elevated our games. I know I have.
Absolutely.
And I've had intergender matches as well. I absolutely love intergender. But I don't even think that when you have intergender matches, that never gets announced as an intergender match. That gets announced as this is a match scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, Liam Croft. Introducing next, Alex Cooper. Do you know what I mean? Like, you'd never go, this is a men and women's match. You'd never say that.
No.
So why, when it's just women, do you say that? Do you know what I mean? Because, like, let me tell you for a fact as well, the men I've wrestled are a lot less hard hitting than any girl I've ever wrestled. So
Yeah, solidly argued.
Yeah, well argued.
Willow, have you thought of
I
one?
have thought of something.
Okay.
Ooh, go on.
So, Willow.
Fans are the fucking worst.
Say it again for the people in the back.
Candy also had this
Oh,
last year. He had fans who got themselves over.
Ah, but is that
Oh,
what
no,
you're
but
saying?
no, that's not what I'm saying.
Okay, that's good.
That's not what I'm saying.
Still haven't got fans though.
Yeah.
But carry on.
This is the smart fan. The wrestling observing reading fan.
Ah,
The smarky smart.
So was no.
There's people who write on Twitter, well, I read on the Observer that you're going to be at WWE next week, and it's like, well, you don't know until it happens, mate. You know, that's the people who try and second guess.
Yeah, you never see it in other entertainment. You never see someone tweeting Chris Evans like, "Hi Chris, I read on Reddit that in the next Avengers film you're gonna get your cock out and cock slap fucking Thanos."
Yeah.
No one does that.
No one does
Why
that.
did they do it for wrestlers?
Yeah. So like every fucking time it's Royal Rumble time and it's WrestleMania time, they're always coming up going, well, I read in the Observer that Kenny Omega's considering going to the WWF, even though it's 19 fucking 17 and nobody's born yet.
There's a war on.
I think the prime example of that earlier was when I said when we was having the Indian, we went for a very succulent Chinese meal. Chinese meal, Indian meal earlier. I was getting my cuisines mixed up there.
That's racist.
Fucking tasty, mate.
It was a good Indian.
But someone messaged Nick Jackson saying, "Hi Nick," like really, really casually.
Yeah.
"Hi Nick, I've heard Kenny's gonna be in the Rumble," and Nick was just like, "Hiya, yeah, he told me to tell you if you message me directly that I would tell you the information." And I was just thinking, like, how thick would she be?
Yeah, like just fucking pack it in. Just watch it for fuck's sake. Just watch it and see if he comes out. If he doesn't come out, he's not going to be in the Rumble, is he, mate?
Read the rumours.
Yeah.
Read the dirt sheets.
Fine.
Talk about them in your group chat. Talk about them on your podcast, whatever. Don't fucking tweet the wrestlers.
It's like if you did message Chris Evans and he said, "Hi Chris, I've heard you're going to cockslap Thanos in Avengers 4." And he messaged him back like, "Yeah mate, you're right, that's the end of the film."
Yeah,
He'd be like, "Oh fuck, I'm not going to watch it now, I know what happens."
Yeah.
So if Nick Jackson came back and said, yeah, Kenny's going to be in the Rumble, he's coming out at this time, here's the contract he signed, WWE bought out NJPW's contract, that's what's happening. Well done mate, you guessed correctly. If you were that fan, you'd go, well shit, I wasn't expecting that. I'm not going to watch it now, I know what happens. So why you ruin it for yourself?
Well, like when we went to the New Japan show in Altrincham, when I went for a piss, there were guys literally stood in front of me tweeting Dave Meltzer about what was happening. And I was like, just fucking
At the same time,
to
be fair, Dave Meltzer does ask people
yeah,
to
but
tweet
why?
him about results. That's the only thing he asks for.
Yeah, but this was in the interval.
Yeah, he asks for results.
In the interval?
Yeah.
Wait till the end.
Well, you know,
Fucking enjoy it, mate.
they want the 5 minutes of fame, brother.
Just enjoy the fucking.
They
just
can
enjoy
go
it.
for a piss and a biff there.
Stop trying to fucking like get all like, oh, I know what's happening. I'm a wrestling insider.
Hi Dave.
Yeah. It's like tweeting fucking Hulk Hogan going, "Hi Terry," like you know. What I mean?
It's like them fans that rate matches and think that they understand wrestling psychology, and you're like, no, you don't. Go away. Why are you making a 4-star match?
On that note, as Edge and Christian coined them armchair arm draggers.
Yeah.
This is
That's
such a
basically
great-
it. Armchair
Yeah.
arm draggers.
The best
Fucking
one
hate them.
one I've seen that was shut down, and I don't like the man from what he's done after WWE, but CM Punk. Did you see the panel he did once? And there's a fella who got up and he said, "Yeah, I'll take a question for you." And he went, "Hi Phil."
Oh.
And CM Punk just went, "What? What'd you call me?" And he was like, "Oh, I'm sorry." And he was like, he got past that, and all the crowd was laughing at him, "You fucking filthy mark." And CM Punk had a good laugh. And then he said, "When you wrestled Jay Riso, as in Christian," and he called him Jay Riso, and all the crowd groaned again. It's like, what are you trying to prove?
Yeah.
I know everyone's first real name. Yeah.
You still haven't seen a badge in your entire life.
The only time something like that is good is, did you ever see that CM Punk promo where he was like, "This isn't CM Punk speaking to Triple H. This is
Phil Brooks
speaking to Paul." Yeah, like that's done really well. But I feel like
when it's done and dropped in. When names are dropped, like real life names are dropped in that sort of scenario, it can have a proper effect. I've seen it done on the Indies once, which was an Infinite show. CJ Banks in the ring with
That's
the
not
owner,
really Indies,
Kieran.
that's like Mud Show.
Well, no, that's rude. This was Infinite were fucking on it in the day. That's rude. I just hope Kieran doesn't listen to this, but anyway.
Shot through the heart,
and you're to blame. You give Infinite a bad name. So, what happened? Document.
Cut
Cut that. No, like there was an Infinite show, and Kieran and Craig. I'm giving it away now. Kieran and CJ Banks were having a promo in the ring together.
So you've just done it?
No, that's what I mean. And so Kieran, for emphasis, like turned around and said, "Because I'm talking to you, Craig," and the crowd went, "Whoa," because it made it personal. It's like, because that's the name that's on your contract. because that's the because it made sense.
Yeah.
But it was also one of them
It's
like
personal as well.
shit, this is real, and the storyline called for it because
I'm okay.
CJ Banks as a character was
I'm
being
not
a
saying
knob.
that's not fine. I'm not saying we should all just call everyone.
No, I mean, but in the instance,
Yeah.
in the instance, what I mean is, in the instances that you gave, that is totally just not needed.
I think what we can
What
agree
a knob.
I can imagine what we can all agree on is you can name drop someone by their first name
If you're a wrestler.
But if
you fucking know them.
if you know them,
Yeah.
if you're some fan who's never spoken to CM Punk and you're calling him Phil,
Yeah,
of course he's
It's
gonna
like,
say,
yeah.
"What are you doing?"
yeah. It's like sometimes to people in the wrestling world, for Zach Gibson, I go Zach, Jack. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that'll happen. But any other time, I don't really tend to know many other. Anybody else's real name, I'll call them by the name.
Exactly.
It's just what you do.
It's like there's some actors who are professionally known as something.
Yeah.
Like I don't think Robert Downey Jr.'s actual name is Robert Downey Jr. I think that's what he's known.
Yeah,
as.
it's a stage name.
Can you imagine if in an interviewer called him by his real name? He'd say, "Well, that's not my name.
Yeah.
That's not what I'm famous for being." It's like if you were interviewing Christian, you said, "Hi, Jay Riso." He'd say, "Well, you've not."
Hi, Adam Copeland.
Yeah, exactly.
Like Rihanna.
Yeah. If
Yeah,
I'm calling
same-
Rihanna
similar
a full
vein.
name, you said,
Similar
well,
vein.
if you were organising a Comic-Con, would you put on your posters Jay Riso, or would you put Christian? You put
But
Christian?
appearing Mark Holloway.
Yeah.
Would you fuck?
Of course you wouldn't. So
Yes.
why would you call them that?
Absolutely. Steve Borden. Something like that, you know what I mean? So anyway, yeah, all three of those turn out to be absolutely fucking rock solid points. Starting off with Willow's, I completely agree for the fan who just name drops it and is just trying to be the smart mark.
For the sake of being
For the
smart.
sake of being it, abso-fucking-lutely. We brand ourselves a few good marks, but in the way that we are fans who give an opinion, and we've got a couple of us on the panel who are wrestlers who do work in the industry, and we give our take on things from that point of view.
We're not a few good smarks.
Yeah, exactly. We're not trying to do this, and in that similar vein, I've refrained from looking at any fan theory videos on Avengers, on Star Wars, on anything that's future to come, because I don't want to know, because on Rick and Morty, on anything, because I don't want to know, because I want to be surprised, and I think that's what social media is somewhat built around nowadays, and professional wrestling, because it's very close to...
What do you mean sports entertainment?
Or whatever, is very close to being if you've got a bit of money, you can then become a promoter. You can become part of the business that you're then involved in it. So therefore, having booking ideas and creating your own booking ideas is kind of cool. So I absolutely agree with Willow. So so Croft's point I completely agree with.
I agree.
Thanks. Candy's joining us halfway through. Thanks for that. Just joining us, mate.
Don't
I'm gonna
contributions
fully
that
go out of my
way.
way to try and stop doing that now, because the way you pointed it out, that it does take people out of it, and it does, make people instantly notice that people are fucked up. And I think if you don't notice that, it's kind of our job to cover it up, not point it out. So therefore, just going, oh, he's hit this, and not even alluding to the fact that they may have not hit it. My only thing with that would be if it's completely obvious something's gone wrong, then you've got to cover that up, but that's part of the job. But I think if somebody does, in a similar vein to the referee's job, really, if a wrestler if the wrestler fucks up a pinfall or something like that, and doesn't kick out on time, it's not the referee's fault that they've counted to 3.
Absolutely.
And get out my ring. You know what I mean? I fully take that on board. However, I am gonna have to give it to Alex
Really?
because
What was yours?
I 100
Oh, the
and 99
women,
yeah.
no, don't fucking 199%. I 200% agree that
We can't agree more than once.
it's said on the podcast now. That women's wrestling absolutely deserves its place on every single British wrestling card on the country, be it one match, be it a full card of women's wrestling, and I have been guilty of saying the following match is a women's match, and
We'll stop that.
Well, that's what I mean. I will fully go ahead and no longer do that.
If you ever announce
No,
one
mate,
of my
I
matches,
will-
I'm gonna come snatch the microphone off you. I did that with the
Mate,
announcer
you can,
today
mate,
and
you
announced
can,
myself.
you can. If I ever do that in any match ever, I will allow you to slap me from the future now,
Good.
and I will tell you because if I've forgotten.
Instant face turn.
Because, I fully agree that there is no place for that anymore in 2019. People booking people because they look good but are still green, that needs to be cut out. Absolutely. Yeah, so what if you've got a look? I don't care. It's like some male wrestlers will have a look, they're not good, you're still not going to book them. There's no place for that either. The point of being a pro wrestler is to be a full package, and I don't think just because you have certain genitals that should change.
Well said.
I agree.
So yeah, Alex 100% wins that round.
Well done, Al.
By the way, Candy,
Can I just wrap
have to
this
tell you
up? Can I wrap this up?
No, because I want this on the podcast.
Okay, go on then.
I posted an Instagram story earlier of me hitting a running knee in the corner into the Bulldog clothesline, which is the obvious favourite Nick Jackson comeback spot. I put at Nick Jackson spot or something like that. Nick Jackson watched and liked my thing.
Very nice. It was a very good. I liked it the way you did it.
I died. Didn't I die when it happened?
died?
She
I died.
This isn't actually Alex Cooper is with us now. This is the ghost of Alex Cooper. Alex Cooper is now dead. R.I.P.
GBM.
Thoughts and prayers.
Thoughts and
With
prayers.
Seamus now.
Anyway, that, folks, is Grappling with Gripes, episode number 2. Thank you for listening. Do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe to us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook. Do not forget to check out our blog page for any new articles that go up. They will also be shared on all social media pages. And from us at A Few Good Marks, we will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye!
Bye.
Suka, bля.